Now, this might seem like an ordinary scenery that you might see every day, but bear with me here. This photo holds a deep sentiment for me. It was a photo that I never resonated with until now. It all started on the 2nd of July 2024. I just wrapped up my summer classes and was completely ready to spend most of the summer doing nothing but relaxing. I remember shutting off my laptop with a sense of finality and silently thanking the universe that I was home alone that day. So the next thing I did? Scream at the top of my lungs while blasting music from my stereo, celebrating the fact that I had survived what felt like a meat grinder. But what was I gonna do for the summer? I couldn't just lay down on my bed and stare at the Death Star poster on my room ceiling the entire time. No, I needed some sort of adventure. Doesn't matter how small it was, I just needed to get out. So I called up my cousin, who was off from work that day. I remember it was a beautiful day that day. Clear skies with that summer scent that we all know too well in our hearts. My stomach fluttered as soon as I embraced that summer air like an old friend. My cousin and I decided to head over to a place I had fondly labeled as the Goomba's Land, also known as Williamsburg. There's always a warm feeling over in that neighborhood, and it made it all too well to venture over. "We should get some tea," said my cousin. Being from Bangladesh, there's absolutely no denying a warm cup of tea at all times, so I happily obliged. I remember we took our time sipping from those extra warm cups, talking about life and his recent marriage. This was something I missed all too well, just having a chat with someone over a cup of tea. But I never realized how truly lonely I was. At that point in time, I really had no friends. I didn't talk to anyone, text anyone, or really go out. I was too overly focused on my work that I seemed to have forgotten so much about myself. I never realized that I hadn't talked to anyone besides my cousin for over 2 years. My cousin and I finished our cups of tea and we started to walk and talk. So much about his life and none about mine, since I really had nothing interesting to tell him about. We walked until we found ourselves at a park overlooking the East River. The sun was painted dimly behind a dark sky with the storming city scenery catching my breath. I never realized how beautiful the city was at that point. Despite being born in Queens, I often forget that I live in a majestic city that most ordinary people don't have a chance to see. Behold, a glimmering light showing the path to dreams come true. I stood on the rocks near the river while my cousin took a call from his friend. I was alone with my thoughts, with distant sounds of cars and crashing waves and a lullaby coming from a distant speaker. I realized that I was home. This is my place. There's no need to stress and entwine myself with just work, work, work. I needed to live my life. I needed to find myself once more. At the edge of those rocks protecting me from the crashing waves of the river, I had finally found that everything was worth it. I'm not afraid anymore. I have a chance to make things right, make things beautiful in my life. I owe it all to a cup of tea and the city in front of me.